So let's talk about the flexible convolutional neural network architecture. So um, in the previous lessons, we've learned that hyperparameters affect the model's performance, such as learning rate, schedulers, optimizer, batch size, dropout, number of layers. But testing this manually becomes difficult if the model architecture is fixed. So the idea here is to build a flexible model architecture that can easily change hyperparameters. This allows us to experiment faster. So the dataset used here is the CIFAR 10. The model is designed for the CIFAR 10 dataset. The characteristics are images 32 by 32 pixels, channels is 3 RGB, classes is 10 categories. Examples of 10 classes are airplane, car, bird, cat, deer, dog, frog, horse, sheep, truck. So the final output layer must have 10 neurons. So overall architectures, the flexible convolutional network has three main parts. The input images, convolutional blocks from the feature extraction. Next is flatten. Next is fully connected layers for classifications. As input block, the model receives batches of images. Example, batch size equivalent to 32, the input shape become 32, comma 3, comma 32, comma 32, which means 32 images, 3 colors channels, 32 by 32 pixels. Next is convolutional blocks. The model contains multiple convolution blocks. Each block contains convolutional layer, ReLU activation, max pooling. So in PyTorch, they are grouped using the n-ended sequential. So each block becomes one unit. X is hyperparameter. Number of blocks. Then the number of convolution blocks is controlled by n layers. N layers equivalent to 3. Then the model automatically builds 3 convolutional blocks. This makes architecture flexible. The hyperparameter number of blocks. The number of convolution blocks is controlled by n layers. Example, the layers we have is 3. Then the model automatically builds 3 convolution blocks. This makes architecture flexible. Next is hyperparameters for each block. Instead of fixed values, the architecture uses lists. Number of filters per layer equivalent to 64, 32, 16, which means the layer convolutional 1, the filters equivalent to 64, convolutional 2, the filters equivalent to 32, convolutional 3, the filters equivalent to 16. Next is the kernel size per layer. Kernel size, say we have kernel sizes variable equivalent to 32, 5, 3. So the layer convolutional 1 has a kernel of 3 by 3. The convolutional 2 will have 5 by 5 kernel. Then the convolutional 3 will have a kernel of 3 by 3. So each layer can have different configurations. Next is channel flow between layers. Important details is the output channel, one layer becomes the input channel of the next. Like example, the layer 1 in channels is equivalent 3, output channel is equivalent 64. Layer 2 input channel is 64, output channel is 32. Layer 3 input channel is 32, output channel is 16. This ensures layers connect correctly. Next is same padding. Padding is calculated as padding equivalent to kernel size minus 1. So this keeps the spatial size the same after convolution. Example, input is 32 by 32, convolutional is 32 by 32 plus padding is equivalent to 1, and the output is 32 by 32. This is called same padding. It helps to maintain dimension before pooling. Max pooling reduces image size. If the same padding, if the padding is if the spatial is the same after convolution, then max pooling reduces image size. So we use in the block ends with max pool 2D. Pool reduces spatial size by half. Layer is input block 1, block 2, block 3. Input is 32 by 32. Block 1 is 16 by 16. Block 2 is 8 by 8. Block 3 is 4 by 4. So after 3 blocks, the feature map becomes 4 by 4. Flattening. After convolution layers, the tensor must be converted into a vector. Example is 16 filters, equivalent to 4 by 4 feature map. Flattened size 16 by 4 by 4, which is 256. But there's a problem. We cannot know this size beforehand because number of layers can change, filters can change, kernel sizes can change. So the model waits until the first forward pass to compute it. This ensures fully connected layer receives the correct input size. Next is fully connected layers. After flattening, the classifier part begins structure. Flatten, wrap out, linear, wrap out, and linear. Next is hyperparameter. FC size. This controls the numbers of neurons in the hidden layers. Example, if FC size is equal to 10 to 8, architecture becomes flattened. From the flatten is 1 to 8 to 10. So the trade-off, larger FC size is more learning capacity, smaller size, simpler model. Larger FC size can learn complex patterns, smaller FC size is less overfitting. Larger FC size, higher overfitting risk, and smaller FC size is less parameter. Next is dropout hyperparameter. Dropout helps reduce overfitting, parameter dropout rate, and example dropout rate is equivalent to 0.5, meaning 50% of neurons are randomly disabled during training. In this model, dropout is applied before each linear layer. Next is tunable hyperparameter in this convolutional neural network. The flexible convolutional network parameters, hyperparameter. Next is n layers, n filters, kernel sizes, dropout rate. And the purpose is n layers is number of convolutional blocks. Filters per layer, kernel size per layer, size of fully connected layer, dropout rate, regularization strength. Why is flexible design is powerful? Instead of rewriting the model every time, you just change parameters. Benefit is faster experimentation, easily hyperparameter tuning, cleaner code, compatible with automated tuning tools. This is especially useful when using tools like Optona, Rayzone, Grid Search, Random Search. Final big picture is flexible convolutional network design allows you to experiment quickly with architecture hyperparameters. The pipeline from images to flexible convolutional blocks, flatten to drop out, fully connected layer, output classes. So hyperparameter controls the number of layers, filters, kernel size, fully connected size, drop out.